A customer who was satisfied with my service asked me if I had a Yelp page because she was very eager to write me a review. And I gave her the same answer that I gave my friend, what the hell is Yelp?
Jay Sofer is a New York City-based locksmith. When he first opened Lockbusters, he says he was unaware of Yelp and its widespread impact on customer decisions.
People would call me and like, did you know you were, highly regarded on Yelp? And my answer was no, because I couldn't afford a smartphone and I didn't have a laptop.
Today, he credits much of his six-figure income and rapidly expanding business to that online review site.
Yelp pretty much catapulted things to the stratosphere, up to the point that now I'm franchising. Let's put it that way.
With so many consumer review sites out there, it's hard for a small business owner to keep track. And as we discovered, some serious questions have been raised about how Yelp solicits advertising from the small businesses reviewed on their site.
To be perfectly honest, we didn't really know about Yelp before we got into this business.
Kelly Calandro and her husband, Matthew, recently opened a modest-priced Italian restaurant called Veracci in their suburban hometown of Shelton, Connecticut.
How's everything going so far?
Like Jay, Kelly and Matthew at first knew very little about Yelp. They were proud to see that their customers' 4- and 5-star reviews far outnumbered the handful of negatives.
Our number one priority is word of mouth.
Unlike Jay, however, Kelly and Matthew chose not to buy advertising on the Yelp site, despite what they say was a barrage of sales calls.
Finally, after, I don't know, the fourth, fifth, or sixth time they called, we said, please stop calling. We have a lot going on, and we're not going to do it. End of story.
But it wasn't the end of story. According to the Calandros, shortly after rejecting Yelp's ad package, the next thing they knew, many of the positive reviews had been filtered off their main Yelp page. Is there a connection? Yelp says no. They say their computer program that filters out questionable entries is fully automated and cannot be fiddled with by anyone. But for the restaurant, their overall ratings had plummeted, and many of their new out-of-town customers stopped showing up.
The positive reviews would come off, leaving maybe just the mediocre or not so great reviews.
Peter Tristman is the owner of Newark, New Jersey-based Olek Liebson. He said he found himself in a similar situation when it appeared to him that all of his positives were dropping off the main Yelp page, leaving only the negatives.
The problem with Yelp has been that Yelp has distorted and suppressed all of the positive reviews.
Yelp acknowledges that it filters reviews to keep out the phony ones, and that the filter isn't perfect. They told us that the filter sometimes catches legitimate reviews, but it's an automated system which cannot be manipulated to bully business owners.
And this appears right below our company name. It's very damaging. It costs us a great deal of money.
While his company has been in business for more than 60 years, has a staff of experienced craftspeople restoring museum-quality antiques and landmark buildings such as Grand Central Station, you would never know this by just reading the 2-star rated main Yelp page.
Having a reputation trashed after 25 years of work, it's an awful thing.
More importantly, you would never know that his company also received 8 5-star and 2 4-star reviews. That's because, according to Peter, the Yelp review algorithm removed them from his main page and placed them on a hard-to-find, difficult-to-access filtered page, and excluded them from his overall Yelp rating.
They ruin our reputation saying we're a 1- or 2-star company by hiding all the 75% of the reviews, which would make us 4 stars.
There's no other way to put it. This sucks. Because this is a situation you did not create, that you don't have time for, and you don't have resources for.
Brandon Mendelson, author of Social Media is Bullshit, is a social media industry critic and an expert at helping non-tech businesses navigate the web. Despite the several examples of highly rated companies who do not pay Yelp for advertising, Brandon has identified cases where he believes Yelp has deliberately filtered out positive reviews in order to sell ads.
Those reviews suddenly vanish, and then there's a call.
And they didn't say this, but maybe they insinuated it, that maybe some of these bad reviews might disappear and some of these good reviews might stick.
And they'll help direct more traffic to your site and get you more positive reviews.
An implicit, if you don't, we're not going to fix this and you're going to be stuck. And this happens time after time after time. You can go all across the country and hear the same story repeatedly.
On your side story involving a local business and the website Yelp.
Local business owner calls a review company's practices unfair.
Pam Zeckman reports on controversy over the company's alleged sales techniques.
In fact, the FTC has recorded well over 600 business complaints about Yelp, many following this same pattern. And in California, a class action lawsuit was filed against Yelp, listing many of these same issues. The suit was dismissed based on a law which says operators of interactive internet sites are immune from lawsuits over content. As a result, the question of how Yelp selects or filters customer reviews was never fully examined.
Yelp will say, or make the argument that we're a neutral site. I think there's more than enough stories, though, out there of people getting that mysterious phone call of, hey, we can make those good reviews reappear if you give us money, to suggest that they're not neutral.
Yelp denies making any offers like this. And while we've heard many allegations, we have not found conclusive evidence nor any legal judgments that say they do. Furthermore, Yelp denies that there is any connection between the ad sales and the review filter process.
We also don't punish businesses who choose not to advertise, and it's very important to make that clear. We keep reviews and advertising entirely separate at Yelp. It's kind of like a separation between church and state, if you will.
Darnell Holloway is the Yelp manager of local business outreach. In addition to Yelp's clear-cut denials, he's been hosting small business town hall meetings like this to answer questions about the site and its policy for filtering reviews. Many small business owners like Matthew and Kelly remain unconvinced.
If you're making a living on advertising sales for the people that you're reviewing, there's an inherent conflict of interest there.
These are our customers, honest to goodness customers that are leaving thoughts about us, good, bad, or indifferent. There's a mix, and we're fine with that. We just want it to be an accurate representation.
What the Calandros did to combat their negative reviews on Yelp was to take their case to the media.
These bigger companies that come in and bully the smaller family-owned businesses.
And today, if you visit their Yelp page, you'll find that they're listed with a 4-star rating, and they still aren't paying for advertising. We asked Yelp about this, and they say maybe the publicity got their customers engaged, but there was no change in the automated Yelp algorithm.